Hello, and welcome to Midnight Snacks with Clay. Sorry for the late start. We had issues with the going live. Um, I know what you all are thinking. One, Clay, you make a fantastic Care Bear. Here's my example. The rest of you are thinking wrongfully that you're acting like you've never seen a grown man dressed as a Care Bear, age 31. But what else are we going to be delivering tonight other than unique ways of thinking about the world in such a dark place that we're in with all this lockdown and quarantine? I thought it would be fun just to simply eat weird stuff and just hang out with you guys. Please feel free to put comments. I'm going to try to work the comments it's going to work best if you all are talking to me and I'm kind of talking to you. So my first question is what kind of midnight snacks are you eating? Personally, tonight, I will be eating some Beach Cliff sardines. Now, sardines are a weird thing that I eat. Most people usually don't like them. And however, I do. The reason is actually... Ooh, look how yummy those look. The reason I actually like sardines is because my dad, when we were younger, and it was just me and my sister, I was actually talking to her about this tonight, whenever it was his turn to watch us, because my mom had to leave for the day, most of the time what we ate were sardines, Vienna sausages, and for a weird reason, fried bologna. That was something that my dad always made for us. I guess that way he didn't actually have to cook that much. But for that reason, I eat sardines. I really like them on Ritz crackers. That's how I usually eat them. So I like them. I know it can be kind of gross for some people, but let me know if you've ever eaten sardines or anything like that, or something odd that you've eaten. I'm going to adjust this so I can see everyone's comments a little better. Oh, there's my finger. I'm also going to have to take this hood down because I'm getting extremely warm. So anyway, I did a lot of weird food things growing up. I've had some weird food experiences. And kind of on that same vein, another thing I like to eat is peanut butter and mustard sandwiches. I haven't eaten that since I was like a teenager, but at the time I kind of liked it. But one interesting food-related story is interesting to me. When I was working as a lifeguard, I actually I finally got my money, and what I wanted to spend it on was ice cream sandwiches. So I bought my ice cream sandwiches. I put them in the freezer. I even put them in the freezer. We had a refrigerator out in the garage, and I put them out there. That way my sister wouldn't find them, and my mom wouldn't find them, and they could just be my ice cream sandwiches. Well, I got one, and then the whole box was eaten by them because they were bad, evil people. And then I complained about it, and the answer was, well, Mom and Dad buy you food all the time, and they've always shared, and they haven't made you pay for it, so it's only fair. My thinking is they were my parents. They kind of need to get me, feed me. That's just a normal thing that parents have to do. I worked for these specific ice cream sandwiches. That was my hard-earned money, and I wanted my ice cream sandwiches. But I'm a very low conflict kind of person. So I actually was like, okay, I got to figure out another way of doing this. And so what I did is I bought generic brand, peanut butter banana, I think was the flavor, ice cream sandwiches from Walmart. It may not have been that weird, but here's the thing to know about my mother and my sister. They were very specific about, they didn't like Walmart brand stuff. They wanted the name brand stuff. And so I knew that was one way. Also, the off flavor. I ate them. I like them. Were they as good as the original? Probably not. But they were mine, and I got to eat all of them. So, it worked out for me. There's a lot of comments going, so I'm kind of looking through there. Apparently, a lot of Deb said that her dad likes sardines with a little mustard mixed in. That's how I am actually eating them. My sister actually likes them with jalapenos, I think, or some kind of pepper to make them hot. She was actually talking to me tonight about how that was how her whole food obsession, hot obsession, came to be. Why she likes hot, spicy food was because that was the only way she could eat that. Brandy said Walmart brand is the best. I don't know if that's Brandy or Annie, her daughter. Some of my students don't have Facebook because apparently it's for old people. And so they're going to have to respond through their parents' thing. Again, warm. I'm going to actually have to unzip this a little bit. I'm fully clothed, just so you know. I'm wearing my nice Dunder Mifflin Scranton office t-shirt. So just, I guess I kind of asked this, but I kind of been telling my own story and couldn't really watch the comments. Yeah, sorry, thank you. Cody Caldwell, that's one of my youth minister friends. We call him Beef, and by we, I mean the people that actually love him. I found out his youth group actually doesn't call him Beef, and I was very sad because he is Beef. If you ever meet him, it is both his name and his description. He's not a big guy, he's Beef. So, pardon my eating. But yeah, that's Beef. He said that I should actually be eating because this is supposed to be Midnight Snacks with Clay. So what kind of, I'm kind of watching, what is one of the weirder things you've eaten? One of the things I ate was, I've actually eaten roadkill. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not just because I'm a Kentucky boy. I actually ate roadkill because it was very, very fresh, is how my father described it to me. He literally watched the car hit this rabbit, and then he picked the rabbit up, or it was a squirrel, I think it was a squirrel, brought it back to the house, and we ate it. Tasted just like regular squirrel, but because of that, I have that claim to fame. Oh, Jamie's eating squid. I haven't eaten squid, or maybe I have. I ate calamari, which is squid or octopus. I can't remember which. I had that once. I kind of like eat. Don't talk with crackers in your mouth, kids. I like to try different things. If especially meat, I'm a huge meat person. So if I haven't eaten it, I try to find a way of eating it. And so I've eaten bear, squirrel, rabbit. I'd like to eat snake, as weird as that sounds. But again, if it's meat, I thought I was going to be able to go to Bellanote and get a boar, but that didn't actually end up working out. Let's see, Colton's eating crickets. I haven't eaten that, but I have actually, one time I took a cicada back when the cicada, plague happened, for lack of a better term. All the cicada were everywhere. And I grilled it over a fire and ate it. So that's kind of like a cricket. Oh, and Erica Caudle has actually eaten roadkill too. I didn't know we shared that. Pickled eggs. I've never had pickled eggs. I love to eat deviled eggs, but I've not actually eaten pickled eggs. Let's see. Lenore Crawford, that's my sister-in-law. She says that she's going to have to taunt Liam with making him try sardines like me. That's funny. It actually has given me a up. in like youth games and stuff. Because like I remember youth group, they were like, "You're gonna make you go on stage and eat Vienna sausages or sardines," and I was like, "Oh no, not that!" I could have done it easily. It was a ploy. I could have won, but they never actually called me. I actually hanker for sardines. I know I keep talking about that, but that's tonight's food. And I bought like an 12 or 18 to a box, and through Amazon I had it sent to the church. And Fancy Nancy received it, opened it, and wondered what in the heck we had bought for the church. And I was like, actually, that's my personal buy. I just didn't want them sitting out in the sun getting nasty. Apparently I'm giving Jamie's mom a stroke. I don't know why that's... Oh, it's Steven. Yeah. I'm giving Steven's mom a stroke, which is Jamie. See, Annie has eaten tomatoes and oysters. I don't know if I've eaten oysters. I like mussels and clams and stuff like that, so that would be very... Alexa says I should eat and talk at the same time. That's rude. My mother would kill me, but I'm trying. Tofu. I did try tofu, Dana. Yeah. It wasn't my favorite, but Wayne said there's a way you can cook it that really gets a lot of flavor and it's good. I trust Wayne to do such things. More oysters. Chocolate covered ants from Pauletta. Pauletta and I like a lot of the same stuff. I really got to get to know Pauletta when we went to Summer in the Sun, and she was one of my sponsors, and so that was fun. Let's see. Maria Compton's granddaughter ate a roach. That's disgusting. I don't know if I go that far. I'm hoping on accident. Oh, nope. Roach had chocolate on it, which means that was on purpose. Okay, then. Paulette says salsi. I don't even know what that is, so please inform me what that is. Kenzie says anything's good with chocolate. Yeah, I'd like to eat a bunch of like bugs and stuff. I'd like to try it with chocolate. I would like to eat a scorpion for some reason. I don't know why. Amber's probably grossed out somewhere because, yeah, she hates buggy things. We actually, on our honeymoon, I promise this is a PG story, we went to Georgia, which apparently has scorpions. And we were warned about the scorpions, and they said, hey, check your luggage, look through your shoes, make sure there's not a small scorpion in there or something like that. And everything was going fine. And then the night before we were leaving, we were in this cabin in Georgia, and we really didn't want to leave. But we found 2 scorpions. One was in the bathtub, one was in the sink. We actually kept one, named him Domino. Kept him for a while, fed him crickets, I think is what we ended up feeding him. I can't quite remember. I kept him for a few months, and then he died. But yeah. Let's see. Hey, I think I actually got caught up now. Lisa says that she ate a snail and got $5 to do it. Again, if by Lisa it's one of you triplets, then I apologize. It's hard to kind of do it. There's a squirrel in the backyard named Alexander, my wife is pointing out. By the way, if my wife could come out and get me a drink, that would be great. Because I didn't think that all the way through. I actually rushed home. Oh, it's Paige is who Lisa is. Really wish I could, like, name you who you are for just this thing. Ooh, the crickets were barbecue and ranch flavored. I don't know what I think about that. I guess it makes it more appetizing. I'm not for sure. Hey, look, my message went through. We're on the Bell L. 20 or 30-second delay. So I'm seeing things and then I'm responding, but it takes 20, 30 seconds to get back to you. Beef wanted, I don't want coconut milk. What kind of crazy person? Give me some juicy juice fruit punch, please. My wife's trying to offer me coconut milk. That's no. Beef wants to know what other kind of snacks I have. I actually, right now, I just have my sardines. There's these Nature Snaps or something like that. They're you can buy them at Kroger, and they're made out of peas and I think beans sometimes. They're supposed to be natural. I like them a lot, actually. The only problem is that they come in small bags, and I eat all through them. My favorite is the peas that taste like Caesar. Which is weird because I don't like Caesar salad. Laura says, camp one year they had a boys versus girl challenge. Last contestant was a marathon style. Drink a gallon of milk, eat a can of Spam, eat a tablespoon of cinnamon, etc. The last challenge was to go bobbing for something. Bobbing for raw fish heads. Turn me off all the food that can be visible, identified on my plate, or anything that looks back at me. Yeah, that actually reminds me. I ate, I can't actually remember what it's called, but it's like liver and all kinds of stuff all mixed together in some kind of Spam-like thing. I would know it if I heard the name of it, but I don't. I can't remember what it's called. I ate it in Boy Scouts one time. You eat weird stuff in Boy Scouts. I say I like meat, but one thing I won't eat is, I don't really do organs. Liver, heart, so on and so forth. My dad does. But I can't bring myself to do it. One time, actually, I went, one of my deer I shot, my dad complained because I shot it through the heart, which is a good shot. But then he was like, you can't eat it now. And I was like, it's going to be okay, Dad. You don't have to eat the heart. Oh, Kenzie's reminded me at SITS that they did a Happy Meal challenge, is what they called it. They took an entire Happy Meal. I think that was it. It was something similar to this, but I've seen a Happy Meal challenge where they take a whole Happy Meal and they put it in a blender. Coke, fries, burger, everything you get in a Happy Meal, minus the toy. They don't eat plastic. And then they make it into a smoothie, and then they have to drink it. I think this was a breakfast challenge. I think they did eggs and milk and pancake, and it was from McDonald's still. That was nasty. I mixed stuff together, but it was rough. Let's see. Potted meat. It's not potted meat, but I forget what it is. Yeah, Pauletta. It's Bratwurst, or yeah, that's what I thought it was. Bratwurst. Yeah, it was weird. They had it at Boy Scouts, and they're like, it's liver. You shouldn't eat it. And I was like, I'm going to eat it. Because, again, a lot of times I'll eat things just for the heck of it. Let's see. Oh, Amber informs me that I need to say hi to Eden, which is the Coddles little girl. I got to actually live chat to her the other day, and I was like, hi, Eden. She was just like, hi. And then she just did this forever, and Beef was like, she's just going to keep on doing it. So he turned it away. So, hi, Eden. Yuzu paste. It's supposedly the most sour thing in the world. It's funny you say that. I was watching Rhett and Link on YouTube, and they ate some kind of, I feel like it looked almost like a grape or something. It's supposed to be super sour as well. I like sour, and so I'm thinking, and who knows with Amazon stuff, I'm thinking for next week's Midnight Snack with Clay, that's what I'm going to do. I want to try to get one of either yuzu paste or something super sour so y'all can see me be like, because sardines, although odd, like I already said, is something that I actually eat quite a bit, so it's not that weird to me. It's not going to be gross. We can't experience it together. Um, she keeps waving at me, Erica. What is she doing up? Put her to bed. Be a good mother. I'm just kidding. Erica's a friend. I can say mean things like that. She would probably kill me next time she sees me, but I'm just kidding. Keep your kid up. That's a good plan, especially if it's to see me. Good old Skittles dressed as a Care Bear. Now, Peyton, the Hot Ones challenge. No. And because I do not do heat. Me and Colton actually went to some kind of hot, spicy thing. I forget what it's called. In Gatlinburg at TCTC. And it, take a drink of my juice. It was weird because we both were like, no, I wanted to try the minorly spicy thing, and that was still too spicy. Plus, I have stomach issues, so we wouldn't want to eat something that makes me go to the bathroom, because that'd be a boring stream. I think earlier someone asked why there was smoke coming out behind me. That's a diffuser. So we were diffusing things. It smells good. I don't know why. Oh, Paige needs me to inform that she's my favorite. I can't tell people who my favorite student is because I don't have a favorite, or that's a lie. I'll never tell you which one it is. I love all my students very much. I think you all are awesome. I guess Paige is my favorite person I've baptized in the last few weeks because she's the only person I've baptized in the last few weeks. But it still sticks. Lenora apparently had some kind of crazy dining, or Greg, her husband, had a crazy dining experience. It looks like crickets and worms and all kinds of stuff. That'd be interesting. I like to watch the Bizarre Foods or something like that on Food Network. I'm a huge Food Network person. Amber and I watch Chopped and stuff, and we talk about quinoa and stuff like that. And then it took us a good month or two after we were eating quinoa to realize that that is quinoa, which is what we had heard a ton of time. I was like, also today I found out that there was a phrase that I didn't know. It was I can't remember the phrase of it now. So that's a useless story that won't do anything to you. Maybe Amber will help me. Let's see. Cheesecake. And Wayne will never make me a cheesecake. Sorry. Very, very hard stuff. Annie asked what scent the diffuser is. It's like morning mist, or something like that. Amber can tell you more in the comments. Let's see. They had one. Colton said that they had one challenge that it was like 5 or 6 warnings on it. Oh yeah, they at that spice place that Colton and I went to, they had like this horseradish thing that they could test. There was one that was pure. I can't remember the name of the pepper, but the hottest pepper on the hot scale. They had just powdered it. Like, not like here's a little bit of juice or maybe it's mixed. No, they had dried the actual pepper so you could just eat it. And like there's a test to take a chip and dip in it and see if you could eat it. Not for me. Kids are fighting about who I love more. That's normal. No, I've never watched the Food Network Challenge before. And Amber, you're helping me with the phrase that they said in Superstore today, that I had always thought it was one way, and then you told me your professor think it's annoying when people do that. It's like severe circumstances. I can't remember. No, it's hotter than ghost pepper, Becky. It's I can't even remember the name of it. I would know if I heard it, but it's ghost pepper is like it's up in the top 5, but this one, like I think ghost pepper might be like 4. Um, oh, yeah. It's intense and purposes. I always thought it was for all intensive purposes. Apparently, it's not intensive, and it took me 31 years to find that out. So, well, things you learn. Um, it's supposed to be for all intents and purposes, and I said intensive purposes. I gotta keep eating this stuff. Ooh, yeah, Reaper pepper. That was something like that. Carolina Reaper. You are correct, Colton. That's exactly what that was. Um, anyway, way too hot for me. I one time got like this mango habanero at Buffalo Wild Wings because I love eating wings. And I thought, well, mango will be fine. But it burned my lips, and it was not a good experience. Actually, Cody Caudle was with me for that experience. I'm trying to think of other stories to talk about. I really enjoy stories and funny things that have happened. And I have lots of them, but usually it takes me something to kind of get ready and do it. So while we're kind of talking and stuff like that, I want to thank everyone for showing up at 11 something at night and hanging out with us. I don't know if this is what every week it's going to look like, but it was fun to do this week. Earlier, Cody Caudle asked me what I was going to be doing. He's like, is it like a variety thing or like a comedy or Q&A or what are you doing? And I was just like, it's Midnight Snacks with Clay. That's all I kept saying to him over and over again. It's kind of been the joke in the office all week is, Clay, what are you doing Thursday? Oh, Midnight Snacks with Clay. It's just a goofy time. I guess I could tell you one of my favorite funny stories. Maybe you just had to be there. But it's a story, and my students know this one. One time I went to the Acoma Indian Reservation in Washington State. And when we went, they were like, hey, you need to bring your own bedding. It's going to be rough. And I was this young. I had to be 14 maybe. And I was like, okay, this is going to be intense circumstances, no electricity, nothing. So my bedding was this little camp mattress you get as a Boy Scout, or I had 4 Boy Scouts, I should say. You undo this valve, and there's foam inside that fills it up, so you have a little bit of a layer. Some people brought pool floats, and a lot of people actually did the pool floats. I wish I had, because that was more comfy. But there was one kid, his name was Jason. He was a year older than me, but kind of odd. He was 15 or so. He slept with a rubber ducky Beanie Baby, which, not to say anything against, not rubber ducky, it was just a ducky Beanie Baby. And then a wrestling pillow. And he slept every night with these 2 fingers in his mouth. And if we weren't on keep your fingers out away from your face warning, I would demonstrate for you. But you all get the point. New crackers. And he was just weird. So anyway, but he brought a double-decker, queen-size air mattress. I mean, this thing was huge. And he was like, hey, if anyone wants to share, I don't mind to share with you, which was a sweet thing. But at the time, I was a 14-year-old boy, and I wasn't about to share a bed with this kid. So we always kind of made fun of him stuff. Well, Jason would get, when we did our service projects and stuff, he was a bigger guy. And he got really tired during the day. We all got tired. But he would go straight to sleep almost as soon as we laid our head down. So what happened is we ended up messing with his air mattress every night. We would unplug the little, where you can adjust how much air is in it. And my youth sponsor at the time would let some of the air out. The youth sponsor has also become a senior minister now, and was actually Cody Caudle's senior minister for a long time, which is funny. But Um, so anyway, he would let some air out, and Jason would slip down in the bed, and then in the morning he'd wake up and be like, I think there's a hole in my bed. And we'd be like, yep, there's a hole. There must be a hole. I mean, you keep waking up on the ground like that. And he'd pump it up. He'd sleep on it for naps during the day, and it would keep its air. And he's like, I don't know what's going on. He'd go to sleep. We let it out. We did that for about 2 or 3 nights. So one night, Jason gets up, and he decides to go to the bathroom. And we actually ended, I forgot to tell you this part. We were in a church. We had electricity. He used a pump to pump it up. We were not nearly as rough in it as I thought we were going to have to be. So anyway, so he gets up in the middle of the night and he goes to the bathroom. So how it's situated is you got like this room. Then off the side of it, you have the hallway. And at the end of the hallway, there was the bathrooms. You know, how you would have in a church. So he goes in there and we're like, hey, pull the big plug, pull the big plug. And so that sponsor, he pulls the big, let all the air out, we're taking this bed down plug, and you can just hear it. It's like, it's just sinking, it's sinking, it's sinking. So then I hear the door close, and he start walking back. And I'm like, he's coming, he's coming. So we close it up. The bed is in that part where, like, if you have a blow-up air mattress, you, like, it's inflated enough to keep its shape, but like if you put pressure in one area, you're going straight to the ground. And Jason's like in the middle of the room. So he walks in, he opens the door, light shines in, and yours truly played the best part. And I went, oh man, Jason, that's bright. You turn off the light. So he does. So it's a totally dark room, and you can hear snickers, just because we know what's coming. I'm pretty sure everyone in there expected Jason to calmly walk across the floor, which is littered with guys sleeping on air mattresses and all this different stuff, and then go to sit in his bed and flop on his butt, and we'd all just really laugh. But that's not what Jason does. Jason, from, I have to say, 15 feet away or more, runs. Just bum, 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 bum. And I was like, oh my gosh. And it was one of those things like, you knew what was coming, but it was happening so fast, you didn't have the time to be like, hey, don't do that. Because that would have been the nice thing to do. Instead, I just kind of snickered to myself. So you hear bum, 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 bum as he runs, and then you hear him leave the ground, and I swear time stops. Just bam, and his knees hit the wood floor, and the room erupts in laughter. We are just rolling with laughing so hard. And then the sad part, and this does make me feel bad, all we hear is Jason go, I thought you guys were my friends. And then my youth minister was like, guys, 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 don't do that. That was mean. But so funny. It was more funny to me because Jerry Clower, who's a comedian that you all may or may not have heard of, he was an older comedian when I was little. He tells a story exactly like that about how he goes to bed. His brother would make him go to bed so he could warm up the bed, and then his brother would run and jump into bed once he got the bed all nice and warm. And because all they had was a fireplace to keep warm. But he goes in there, Jerry goes in there and finds out that his mom's moved the bed, and he just lays there knowing that his brother's about to run and just jump into the darkness with no idea that the bed's been moved. And he described it the same way of the running, the stop time, and then just the slam as he hit the wood floors. Of course, he got splinters in him. It was a whole nother story, but I was like, is this really happening to me in real life? It's probably one of the funniest things that's ever happened to me. So let's see what we got in the comment section. I stopped at the ghost pepper stuff. Takis and ice cream sandwiches. That I've never had Takis. Kinsey Skinner, I need Takis. She loves those things. Peyton, yes, you can make an intro theme song to Midnight Snacks. I would love that. I don't know if we could do that. A lot of people are saying we need to make this video. Just so you know, keep an eye out for Rhonda's video tomorrow. We worked on that today, and it was really great. Let's see. Sorry. I don't know. Demetria Martin one time said, why do when people think they make a very low laser sound? And sure enough, it's exactly what we do. Amber's craving waffles now. That's one thing I haven't had to eat is chicken and waffles. I really want to eat chicken and waffles. I plan on going to Fat Cats. I don't know why I couldn't remember that. Amber and I hadn't eaten at Fat Cats like a month ago. We really liked it. But they have chicken and waffles, and I'm thinking I'm going to go there and eat chicken and waffles for the first time there. Kinsey, Jason was not badly injured. Maybe he had bruises. Actually later in the week, he ended up, it was the hottest day of the whole summer, and he decided, we were telling him that he should be, do a time check. We told him he should be working harder because he was like working for like 5 minutes and sitting down for like 30. And we were like, dude, you got to pick it up. And he decided to kick it in gear at like 11 o'clock when the temperatures got to 115, 120. Ridiculous. The Yama Indian Reservation is on a plateau, so it actually sits really close to the, I guess it just is hotter because it's up further from sea level. And so it hailed one day, and then it was hot the next day. That day, we actually went to a mountain stream and played in that water, and that water was freezing. It felt so good. But no, he wasn't hurt. But he did overwork himself, get heat exhaustion, and start puking. And that same one that was playing the trick on him, that same sponsor, picked him up and carried him to the shower house to cool him off. So, yeah. Apparently we caught up. So, let's see. What is something you all have wanted to eat that you've never had a chance to eat? Since we kind of talked about me wanting to eat chicken and waffles. I've crossed off filet mignon off my list. We had it one time I think it was just a Texas Roadhouse, so I could have done better probably. But, I think I might have cooked it wrong, because I think you're supposed to eat it like medium rare. I think I just ate it medium and maybe even medium well. That probably was a bad thing. It's such a small piece of meat, though. I want a lot of meat. Steven said kangaroo. Colton actually got, when we were in Gatlinburg, he bought a kangaroo jerky stick. So I guess, and I ate some of it. So I guess technically I ate kangaroo. I wonder if it would taste better as an actual meat. I feel awful eating kangaroos though. Like they're so fun. I actually had a friend one time, and a lot of my stories are going to be like this because that's how it's whirling. I had a friend that, I meet a lot of people playing video games, and he lived in Australia. And I was like, so what's with all the kangaroo? He goes, well, you know how like you see deer and you're just like, whatever. He's like, that's pretty much what kangaroos are. They're like just annoying things that we hit with our cars. They're not that big. Amber wants to eat swordfish. I'm down with that, wife. Annie really wants to eat tofu. I do not share that sentiment. I've eaten it, but I didn't want to eat it. I just was like, hey, that's there. Someone's offering to me. I'll eat it. I would have never tried it myself. Let's see. Paige needs Wayne to make mashed potatoes. We're all missing Wayne's cooking. I think it'd be fun for Wayne to... We talked today about maybe Wayne creating the midnight snacks for Clay, creating my snack sometime. And so that would be a possibility. I have no idea why Erica said cows are fun too. I'm not following along very well. I guess fun to eat, which I agree. Cows are fun to eat. Speaking of things, I don't know if you can eat them, but Cody actually, his parents raised llamas, and he one time hit a llama in the face with a shovel because it tried to run at him. And I find that whole story Very beefy and funny. Dana, I don't know if you're saying kangaroos are so sweet, and you mean eating-wise or temperament-wise. I'm guessing temperament-wise, but it makes me laugh to think maybe you like they have sweet meat. Yeah, the Thai place next to the church serves tofu. It's yummy. Well, that's where I had it. It was pretty good. Amber's actually did their meter personality. Let's see. Oh no, what is happening? I don't want to block Erica. Oh, Cody's saying it attacked him. It did. And he just, boom, with a shovel. That just cracks me up. I'll tell you about the most hickish thing maybe I did. I already told my students this. I guess it's not hickish. We usually have a couch behind me. I'm actually in my chair that I use for gaming and stuff. But Missy decided, my dog, which Amber's taken her into the bedroom with her during this time, she decided that instead of waiting or asking to go out while we were sleeping one morning, that she would pee in the house, which, you know, dogs do that occasionally. Not my house, they don't, but I'm just kidding. She does that. She has seizures sometimes too. Sometimes her brain gets broken. She doesn't remember she's supposed to go outside. This was not one of those times. She decided, instead of peeing on the floor, which is annoying, or peeing in the kitchen where there's linoleum and we could easily wipe it up, she peed sitting on top of the couch. And it went down the cushion and into the bottom of the couch. And it was a lot of it because it was in the morning when she hadn't been out for a while. So she pretty much ruined our couch. But it had a rip at the top, and she seized on it several times. So we were like, we gotta get rid of this couch. So Monday we went to Ashley Furniture and got a new couch, or ordered a new couch. It won't be delivered till next week. And so we gotta get this old couch out. Well, we got this old couch in. It was a sofa bed, which if you've ever moved a sofa bed, you should groan as soon as you hear that. It was a heavy sucker. Amber and I didn't want to deal with that again. So we actually carried it straight out behind me as our porch. And we got it out there, and we were trying to figure out how we were going to walk down the stairs because it's kind of a tight space there too. And then I was like, let's just throw it over the edge of the porch. It's about maybe a 6-foot drop or something, maybe more than that. So we for sure took a couch and just threw it off our porch, and it bounced along the ground and almost went down into the gully behind my house where the sewer system is. I guess it's not a gully. And we picked it up and put it on this little dolly and rolled it to the curb for the trash this morning. But I left a nice 2-inch just hole through the middle of my yard from the wheel from the dolly. But I had my head on it trying to keep it in place while I'm trying to haul it and wheel this couch through my side yard. And people were passing by, and it was, I felt redneckish doing it. And then we unfolded it and put the mattress back into the sofa bed and folded it back up. If it hadn't been wet and nasty from like laying in the grass and dog stuff that it probably landed in, I was really tempted just to sit in the couch on the side of the road and be like, hey y'all, how you did? But yeah, that was a fun thing that happened today. So anyway, let's see. Oh, nope. I don't have any more stuff. Cody wants everyone to know he's not the bad guy in that story. It was a demon llama. He always makes sure that that's clear. In the beginning of the video, I asked you all what you were snacking on, but then I was talking, so I didn't actually get to see it. So, anyone still snacking and want to share about what they're eating on? I'll probably actually eat some popcorn later. Popcorn's kind of my new snack. It's yummy. However, because people at Kroger are crazy, they bought all the popcorn and everything else, and the beans and anything else you want to actually get. Yeah. Kenzie wants to know what's in my cup. This is Juicy Juice fruit punch. I drink it daily. It's supposed to have good source of vitamin C, and I know I should just eat a piece of fruit, but then I'd have to eat a piece of fruit. I'm just joking. I actually eat a lot of stuff. I try about almost anything, and I enjoy many vegetables. Like there's a commercial that's like one of those like cook at home things, and they're like, even the vegetable, I enjoyed eating the vegetables, and I was like, that's part of the reason I'd want to eat it is to taste it. The one thing we don't like, Amber and I one time, Amber was cooking and she used, I have to remember words. Cilantro. She used cilantro in the soup, which is very potent. We didn't know that. Amber has no sense of smell, so potency is not something she always can detect. But it's called like Italian parsley or something. So she used it like parsley, and now Amber's yelling at me. She doesn't know 20 seconds from now I'm going to say what it is. And now 20 seconds from now is when she actually yelled at me. So anyway, she used it like parsley, and it just ruined this big pot of soup. We were sick for days. Pepperoni and crackers for a snack. Swiss cheese. All those are good. Amber is eating. Oh, no. Amber said that I was drinking the blood of Beef's llama. I believe that llama's long gone. Clay is miss you a lot. Very good at speaking there, Paige. Yeah, a lot of our people are locked up with this quarantine and stuff. That's why I kind of wanted to do this goofy thing. It's definitely a interesting time. We're still going to the office right now because we've got videos to do and set up internet. The church is supposed to be getting better internet. I don't know if I'm supposed to tell people that. I feel like it's secret information, but it's not. It's better internet. It's actually going to be cheaper than what we were paying for much, much faster internet. So that's really good because that means we'll be able to Facebook live stream a lot easier, download things, upload things. We're really trying to get our Sunday morning more high tech and such, so y'all can enjoy it. By the way, I haven't publicly got to actually say this on our Facebook page or in a chat or stuff, but I was super impressed with everyone that participated on Sunday morning with the comments. The comments is what actually makes this whole thing feel alive. It's good for y'all to interact. It's good to actually talk to each other, so on and so forth. So keep that up. Also, thank you all for logging in and doing this tonight, because I had a few stories I was going to tell, and then I was like, hopefully, whatever, people will say stuff and I can talk about it, because I'm a bit of a talker sometimes, which is weird, because I'm actually an introvert, and I don't like talking. I've just learned to talk, but I like telling stories. That's probably the biggest reason I'm always talking, is because I always have a story to tell, and I find it funny. I also like being funny. I started being funny, which actually has to relate with food. Yay. I had a friend one time, and I was like 6, and he made me laugh so hard I spewed Orange Crush out of my nose. And I remember distinctly thinking, I want to be so funny I can make people spew things out of their nose. So, if I ever make you laugh so hard that you spew something out of your nose, know that you've made me very happy and I've succeeded. If I ever make you laugh so hard that you cry, again, very happy, and I'm glad I succeeded. If I make you laugh so hard you snort, that's where money gets serious. I love a good snort because it embarrasses the person and they can't help it, and it's the funniest thing in the world. My favorite, though, is if someone's laugh is a snort, so they just sit there going and just snorting. It makes me laugh every time. I'm like some kind of humor ninja. If I find out that you're laughing, and you have and I know I can keep doing stupid stuff to make you laugh, I will keep on doing stupid stuff to make you laugh. It's just who I am. I like being goofy. In case wearing the Care Bear onesie was not goofy enough for you guys, or told you what's going on, now you know. Let's see. Beef wants to host a show with me. Beef, if you want to come and be a special guest on this here talk show thing I'm doing, go for it. I would love to have you on as a special guest. That would be fun. Midnight Snacks with Clay featuring Beef. I'd be down. I'd be so excited to do something like that. We have a friend one time that he tried to be he is a stand-up comedian, but when he first started coming up with funny stuff, what isn't his strongest suit. We told him this, so I'm not like downing him at all. We're like, we would need to put you on a stage with a couch, and then we need to just sit down next to you because you say the most silly things, just random stuff off the top of his head. Oh no. Yeah, can't eat anything with cilantro. Becky, you are kind of watching live, I think. Maybe. We're not done yet. Amber says we like venison. We do. I like to shoot and eat deer. That's fun. Rhonda's dealing with a food crisis. Wayne's going to be there at 7 o'clock, which sounds really crazy early in the morning, but Wayne's already been up for 3 hours. Not really, but I always tell him that. Wayne has been in bed for at least 2 hours at this point. He's so cute. I thought it'd be hilarious to be like, this week on Clay's Midnight Snacks, we talked to Wayne and just wake Wayne up in the middle of the night and be like, what do you think about the crisis? It'd be hilarious. Wayne is a very loving man. He may punch me in the face if that happened, just out of nowhere. Let's see. Yeah, Steven said that his mom almost had a stroke during the roadkill story. I actually told that story at an interview. I didn't get the job. I don't think that those two things connected. They were actually really interested, but like that is my go-to weird fact about me, because again, it's not actually I don't think it's actually that gross because it hadn't been sent out. Like my dad literally watched the rabbit die and then was like, oop, picked it up, and he was like, bullet to the head, wheel over its head, it's dead. Like, that rhymed, didn't mean to. But that's my like go-to thing. Probably my favorite random fact that people can't guess. I need to check the time again, make sure we're not going over. So I got 4 minutes. Is I had one time at Bluegrass Christian Camp, there was a like a staff checklist thing. You had to find people that had these experiences, and one of them was I'm an African American, and we were looking for exactly what you would expect an African American to look like. And so we walk up to this just 20-something-year-old Caucasian guy, and we're like, "You're not African American, are you?" And he goes, "Yep, that's me, that's mine." We're like, "What?" Turns out he is a missionary's kid, and he was born in Africa, and then he was made a citizen of America when they finally moved back when he was like 8. So technically he is African American, if you kind of put that together. It was a really clever way of putting it, and it stuck with me all these years, so I guess it was a pretty good thing. Let's see. Whoa. Steven, let's clarify. I mean, he did make... Okay. Kenzie asked, what's the weirdest thing I've done? I don't actually know. I've done so many odd things. I guess it was one of the weirder things I did is one time at an age that was not college age. It was college age. Me and my friends waded down a river in the middle of our city and drew a map on a rock. and had like these little, like, it was stuff that you would imagine a 9-year-old to do. It just means my imagination's alive. But yeah, we did that like a lot. It was a lot of fun, but it was really stupid for no reason. Oh, I see Becky means Sunday service. I'm sorry, I misunderstood. Um, let's see. Rhonda thinks I should have special guests on my show. I'm thinking about doing that. I think that'd be funny. Rhonda says, yep, Wayne's been in bed at 10 o'clock. He used to go to bed at 9 o'clock when I first met him, so I guess that's better. Erica says the demon llama took a bullet to the head. Yeah. Oh, no, I wasn't 15 when I did that, sweet. It was in my car that we put everything in. I'm pretty sure I was in college. I was at least 16 or 17, but I was pretty sure it was a college thing I did one summer. Way older than you would expect a bunch of, and they were only like a year or two younger than me. So like a college kid and a bunch of high schoolers just like wading in the water. Um, Turns out that it was the runoff from the water treatment plant, so it probably wasn't the cleanest water in the world. And it actually was not the only time I've ever swam in sewage water. One time at this ballpark, there was a creek. I love creeks, in case you can't tell by all this. And I was wading in it and just having fun while my cousins were playing sports. I'm not a big sports guy, as you all know. And they like were asking me to get the balls that fell into there out of there and all kinds of stuff. And I'd been at it for probably half an hour before one of the parents leaned over to my mom and was like, "You do know that that's like a sewage runoff place, right?" And my mom was like, "Clay, get all the water." So yeah, that's also a weirder thing I've done. Uh, so well, I think, yep, 11:59. That about wraps up Midnight Snacks with Clay. Thank you all for coming and hang out with me. And thank you for keeping the chat going. I'm going to do this at some point. Look for a schedule. I don't know if I'll do it at 11 again next week on Thursday, but we're all trying to at least do one thing a week. So be watching for that. Youth group kids, if you're watching, I really miss you guys. I miss all my church family, to be clear. But, the kids are they're the ones, I miss them like they're my buddies I haven't seen. Part of the calling God put on my life is that. So even though we've been super goofy and stuff, I think it would be appropriate for us to actually close off with prayer. So I'm going to say a quick prayer, and then we'll say our good nights, and we'll get off. So, Heavenly Father, we thank you for the community we have. We thank you that we're able to get together and be goofy and talk, that we don't have to be serious all the time, even in these serious times. Be with all of the members of our church and our friends and our family and those that are all dealing with this coronavirus stuff. We just pray a blessing on all of that. I pray that you be with our country and our leaders during this time. And help us to remember we always have you, and this world's not our home. And it does get better, and one day we can spend forever in heaven with you. We love you so much. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Well, I love you guys, and there's nothing you can do about it, so, deal with it. Good night, and thanks for hanging out with me.